Welcome back to Sweat Equity. Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez, guys. All right. Quick side notes, guys. All right. Look in the bottom, for all for the footnotes, guys. So, you want to go ahead and skip through traffic like that and get right straight to the talking points or what you really want. Other than that, guys, all right, while you're here, go ahead and like, subscribe, put your notifications on, guys. All right. Show some love and then share, of course. All right. Right now, big thing that's going on, UFC 93.
293.
Right?
293.
Oh, 293, yeah. UFC 293, my bad.
UFC 93 was good, though.
Yeah. Probably like Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell or something.
Right.
Yeah, like that. But Adesanya versus Strickland. Who you got?
Adesanya, 100%.
Adesanya, 100%.
Yep.
Okay, I got Adesanya. You got Adesanya? Who you got?
Bro, I think it's gonna be a tough match, but I don't think Adesanya wants to lose again, bro.
No,
not even a tough match, bro.
You don't think it's gonna be a tough match?
I'm gonna call it right now, bro. All right, first round knockout.
Wow.
I honestly do not even think it's gonna last that long.
You don't think it's gonna last that long? I don't know, man.
How about yourself? You think it's gonna go all 5?
I don't think it's gonna go all 5. Because
TKO 4
because
30,
Adesanya's really a tactician, man, but I just think Strickland's gonna. I think he's gonna take the ass whooping to try to get in and get body to body with him. I think he's gonna try to get body to body with him.
When did he get knocked out in the freaking the guy he just beat? Why I can't think his name.
You're talking about Adesanya?
No, Adesanya.
Strickland.
No, the dude he just knocked out. Pereira.
Yeah.
When did Pereira knock Strickland out? I think it was in the first round.
Good question.
Look it up.
I don't know.
Look up Strickland's knockout when he got knocked out by Pereira. All right. So while Lynn's looking that up, all right, this is exactly how I see it going. All right.
Okay.
And looking at the press and conferences and stuff like that and their interaction between them, bro, I'm like, Adesanya's fucking done with this dude. He's
230 in the first round.
In the first round, yeah.
236 in the first round.
Yeah, you see, dude, I'm telling you, all right? So I see Adesanya coming out heavy leg kicks, bro, all right? Just because freaking Strickland is adapted, this, boxing, Philly shell style kind of fucking boxing stand-up.
Right.
All right? No wrestling, no kickboxing, none of that shit, And he claims to be a black belt, but he said doesn't even care to use it. All right, like that. So I see Adesanya coming out heavy leg kicks, bro. All right, until he faints low. All right, making Strickland finally reaching for one of those leg kicks or trying to check one of those leg kicks and stuff like that. And he's gonna go high.
Just at sleeping with the overhand right.
I'm saying it right now. All right, so next week when we come back, all right, we're gonna see if I'm right.
He's gonna do his
now.
famous.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Bro,
that's how I see it, bro.
I mean, look, I get it, man. I really do, but but then Strickland could also, because he does do one thing that he does better than anything else is talk a lot of shit.
And that's another thing, bro.
He talks a lot of shit. Didn't he tell the dude he was gonna he would rape him in prison?
Yeah, he told.
What?
Yeah, some Mike Tyson shit right there.
Yeah, he told the dude he was.
It was another. It was a black fighter. Kevin. I think it was Kevin. Something, but yeah, he was like, if we're in prison, I would rape you.
I'd rape you
and make you my bitch, kind of thing, bro.
Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland. Yeah,
Kevin Holland. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So he got a lot of beef with Kevin Holland multiple times.
He's like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but like, man,
No big deal. Just say the facts.
Hey, dude's fucking annoying, bro.
Hey,
all right, and like whether it's putting on a show or not, I honestly don't think he's putting on a show. I think that he's just this trailer trash fucking nonstop talking shit kind of guy, and like freaking that shit is annoying, bro. And you're starting to really see it bleed into and freaking out of Adesanya in these meetings with him and stuff like that. He just wants him to shut him up. Like that. Talk about shit talking, bro. How do you feel like the shit talking is going on right now for UFC and fighters like trying to build up fights?
I mean, I get it. Like I get it.
Okay, rate the level of shit talking, like the entertainment, of shit talking in nowadays, bro.
I really don't think it's that entertaining.
It's not.
I really think it's fucking annoying.
Like honestly, freaking, everyone wants to follow suit with Conor McGregor, and no one, there, you're not gonna have another Conor in a long time, But okay, let's think about before Conor. Who was the shit talking? Oh, Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen. I was gonna say,
he was entertaining. Who was before that?
I don't know. Before that,
yeah,
Tito used to talk a lot of shit.
Tito used to talk a lot of shit, but bro, he has a lot of sound bites. Like, wait, what? Pause. Like,
but,
The
Diaz brothers used to talk a lot of shit.
Bro, they're.
But it was a different type of shit talking.
But the Diaz brothers, they're not doing the entertainment value. This is who they are.
This
is who they are, like that. So, but now, bro, like how the shit talking, girl, I give it a fucking big fat 0. Like there's like, cause. Okay, I'm not that old. I'm 35. All right, but these guys now, they're where I would probably say max 24, early as even going like as early as what's that big ass Crimson Chin fucking Raul, or the lightweight that came out of fire. He was like 18 or 16.
Oh yeah. I don't. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, like him. Like, bro, it was the worst. You know what I mean? It was just so terrible. So you're talking about.
It didn't even sound good, bro.
Yeah,
it's like you just learned to cuss.
You got guys like fucking 17-year-old all the way to 24 like that. It's like they're trying to oh, bro, it just is so bad.
But
bro.
You know what I think it is too, though. It's that it's everybody. It's so like it used to be that it was a couple of guys talking shit, and they were like, "Man, that's funny."
Yeah. But now you got guys that put on characters and stuff like that. It's like, bro, this is like, we know this is a facade. Stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even that good.
Didn't you send me one today? Who was it? With Nagano and what's his name?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is funny, and that he's one of those dudes that like just can't help himself, and he's nonstop just talking shit.
But you could tell that's but it's not even just that's him. It's like, think about like when you look at these guys and all the shit talking they're doing, like all you motherfuckers ain't backing it up. Like some of y'all are just talking shit for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's
stop.
Bad, you know what I mean? And so I just feel like now, Adesanya is just, bro, he's just so done with that shit, and he's ready to fucking, make him pay for it. And then TikTok on his grave, like, cause like shit like that, like I'm a TikTok on you. How's that, bro? Hey, I like Adesanya, he's really grown on me, over all his fights and coming back and then winning and defending and stuff like that. But I'm like, bro.
He's
if
a
you
weeb, bro.
Just did your job, man, I would like you a little bit much better. You know what I mean?
He's a weeb, bro. He's a weeb, bro. For sure. That's when I first saw him. I was like, when he started with all his Naruto stuff, I was like, oh, this dude's so weeb, bro.
I'm not
and I really
like.
I was like, oh, this is cool. This dude.
You got some. You got like a Brandon Moreno with the Legos. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Demetrius Johnson with his fucking WoW and and all his gaming and like I get it. They have their own lives outside. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when you're trying to make references that like the average guy at home doesn't fucking know what you're talking. Okay, like look at Lynn right now. You talking about ping levels. He's like, what?
Completely glitched.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, you're not gonna hit on all the bases, and then just the translation just gets lost.
Right.
Lost in translation on okay, I don't know if that was supposed to be funny or not, but bro, just shut up and fight. I don't
know. I just feel like you have to get to I just feel like once you get to a certain level, then it's okay. Like once you've proven yourself, it's okay. Once you're Tyson, Mayweather, Roy Jones, once you've gotten to the level, like it's cool. But like you're just a new dude on the scene, and you're like, I'm gonna do all this, and it's like.
Be a household name for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But first, let me know who you are. Like, I gotta scratch my head and figure out.
And I was looking at the rest of that card, bro, and it looks a bit trash.
It's dicey, yeah.
Yeah. The only other one is just the co-main event, and I really like Tuivasa, what I mean? But man, he has a real big mountain to climb with I don't even know the dude's name, but that I think he's Russian or something or German or something like that. He's fucking tall as shit. He reminds me of like one of those Stipe not
Stefan Struve.
Stefan Struve, yeah. Like that, bro. When you doing this number like that and looking straight up, like
right, when you looking straight up at the presser.
Hey, but hey, Mark Hall. Mark Hall fucking finished Stephen Struve, and he was like half his size. So,
Right.
You know, I mean, the dude got a chin on him, but he is coming off 2 losses, so hopefully he can, you know, freaking get over that.
So I don't know what league.
Any
this
other
is.
fights? Who else? And I think there's another guy on there either. Who's that? Let me see that.
Yeah.
You know, let me see. This dude, Carlos. Man, I was watching a lot of his highlights. How you say that name? Urbic? Orberk? Yeah, bro, that dude, man, can hit hard. You know, I was seeing some of his, but he's in the prelim. He's not even on the main card. You know, hey, this shit was funny. This Kape guy, Kape. How would you pronounce that?
Kape.
Kape. Kape. When he was freaking getting in with Adesanya.
Oh, yeah.
Dude's a flyweight, bro. I was like, hey, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, chill a little bit.
Yeah, chill, dude. You know, like that. You see that? Okay, like, you know what I mean? When I saw that, I was like, and then I forgot what Adesanya said. He was like, look at this midget. Like, he went to like the practical, like,
right.
shit talking.
Right.
You know, trying to pick a fight with me. Like, bro, you could have came up with something slicker like that. You know what I mean? If I was right there, bro, I would have automatically been like, bro, you need to be this tall to you know what I mean? Like, sit your ass down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, I fucking stop a mud hole in your fucking ass.
I think
you
what
know
happened
I mean?
though, because you know a lot of the UFC cards are like that now.
Yeah,
but you know why?
You gotta sell tickets,
But
bro.
no,
you
I'm
gotta
not.
put ass in seats.
I'm not even talking about that part. I'm talking about like the cards. You remember how the cards used to be strong? Like you used to get on
it's
and you would start.
It's just oversaturated. You got Friday night fights, Saturday night fights. You got fucking Tuesday night fights. You got the contender series.
It's so many fights now. It's just like they're all the time. Because man, you remember we used to lot 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, you was sitting down because you wanted to see the whole fight card
you know,
from start
like
to finish. Now
all
it don't turn on till 11.
All it really was back then was the tough show. So yeah, you were sitting Friday night, you were trying to freaking see who was gonna make it to the next round of the tough, like that. And then that's all on the build up from you know, like with a couple like fight nights, you know, every once in a while, you know, like that. But everybody was watching the tough show because that was the build up for the big main event card, you know, because they're going to be on it, you know, starting
the coaches.
The coach. Well, no, it was going to be the finalists, you know, starting out the show. Then the coaches were going to be fighting on it because they were the main card, like that. So everybody was like, but now it's like, it's just super.
It's like a main event, and then it's like a.
Yeah, you know, there's all these little freaking fights here and there, and then what gets me is like you got championship fights on these fight nights, you know, and stuff like that. And it's like I'm like, what? Like, damn, these guys can't even make it on pay-per-view, and they have belts, you know, like that. You know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You got to make that money and really freaking, you know, push it. And, you know, like that, I guess everybody's trying to, like, you know, be like, you know, football and stuff like that, where they got Tuesday night football, Thursday night football, you know, Saturday.
Yeah, but it's also free.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, man, freaking some of these, you know, because you got to subscribe to ESPN Plus, and it's, you know, a lot of these sports and stuff like that, they're getting signed contract deals with these
the streaming
broadcasting stations like that, where you can't even find it. You can't even watch the TV. I mean, the game on regular TV, Fox or anything like that, unless you freaking have that channel. So,
but you know, even that is cheaper than the fucking $80,
$70, $80
UFC,
PPV,
like, stop, bro.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
No, for sure.
For one fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just one fight. What is this UFC? Because I think this UFC is a little bit freaking more. Scroll all the way up to the top. It'll tell you if you go back to that card. What right there? It should say it right here. Go right here. It doesn't say it right there.
How to watch?
Yeah.
UFC Fight Pass, ESPN Plus. Order on ESPN Plus.
It doesn't say how much.
Probably $80.
Honestly, like usually it's over $70. I bet you this is gonna be like $89.99 or something.
Stop.
Buy pay-per-view.
It doesn't say though. No. I bet you it's gonna be a little bit, you know, more like that for sure.
I'm not.
$79.99.
Yeah, so $10 extra. You see, $10 extra what the norm is.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah. Speaking about money, bro. All right, because before getting into the main topic and stuff like that, PFL. All right, like, you know, they're on the come up, man. Like that, you know, PFL. freaking one, UFC, and you know we're gonna be talking about more UFC in a little bit like that. But hey, this Saudi freaking group, bro. All right, we've already talked about it once with the Live Golf. This is the same people. Yep. All right, the same. So the big thing circling around them, all right, is that you know they have ties connected through to freaking the terrorist group in freaking in Afghanistan.
To Al Qaeda.
Yeah, Al Qaeda and like not just them but other terrorist groups and stuff as for funding them and stuff like that. So that that's like when that whole Live Golf freaking PGA stuff happened like that. All the golfers that went over there and took that guaranteed money like that got so much backlash, like that because of that's all the reporters were trying to flip and turn the narrative like oh you do support freaking terrorism and stuff like that. They're like, nah, motherfuckers. Like, right,
I just want money.
I got $100 million in the bank. I'm taking care of my family and to play golf. I'm a golfer. How does golf and freaking killing people, merge together? Whatever they doing, whatever like that. Right. I'm getting paid for like in what other world do you see that a problem? You know what I mean,
bro? Like, they don't do it here.
Yeah, like it's just crazy, to just think of that. Like you're right, like hey, freaking in any other world, okay, you're working for a law firm, and then you got your rival law firm be like, hey, I'm a triple your pay. Right. You know what I mean, guaranteed money. Matter of fact, the signing bonus is going to be 1 year your salary, what you're getting paid now. You're gone. Like,
Then nobody talks about the corporations here that fund all the.
Nah, but we know.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But,
so I don't even know how to even pronounce. How would you even pronounce that? Is Arabis, Saudi Arabis Public Investment Fund?
No, Arabia's.
I was about to say It's Arabia.
Arabia's?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia's freaking Public Investment Fund. All right. So they're all that's how they can say, or like how it's hard to prove that they are tied to it. You know what I mean? It's one of those trust fund kind of funds like that where you don't really know where the money is because it has all these shell corporations within it, like that. But obviously that type of money over there, like there's just so many reports over there that they don't even know how many true billionaires or even trillionaires are that really are living over there. They just got crazy money. You know what I mean? So they're the ones behind the Live Golf. They're the one behind freaking buying up Ronaldo, buying up freaking all these high paid, offering freaking Messi like all this fucking money and shit like that. So this is the same fund, like that. And so now they just purchased a freaking or acquired ownership stake in freaking PFL. All right, like that. And can you look at where PFL started? Like I want to say that's a Seoul. Or
you talking about
where did it originate? Where
the Pro Fighters League.
The Pro Fighters League. Where did it come from?
Good question.
Where was it founded? Are you finding something?
25 countries.
And the PFL, why I looked that up, the big thing I like about the PFL is that it's always giving, that freaking play-by-play updates on strikes and stuff like that on who's
it lets you know who's
real time
like who's winning the fight.
Real time statistics on who should be winning the fights. They still have judges, who should be having like that. It doesn't say where it was founded. And I want to say
it says here founded in 2017 and is based in McLean, Virginia.
In Virginia? Man, I'm way off then.
They say some venture guy. Country U.S.
In the U.S. Man, I thought it was outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
No, they've got a PFL Europe. Yeah. Which doesn't surprise me.
And then on top of that too, man, what's another interesting thing that I see all the time too is that they have like a team kind of like a form to it, you know what I mean? Where like they have like Team USA, Team Mexico, Team Canada, Team France and stuff like that. I that's another thing that I think is pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Where, these guys are representing their country and stuff like that. So, like that, but.
Bro, you have to give real competition to the big dog.
Of
like
course.
to the UFC. But then there's so many people in the UFC, like the NFL doesn't really have it. NBA doesn't really have it because they have all the developmental leagues and like the minor leagues. But you have so many people that want to be fighters.
Yeah.
That you can actually generate a good buzz and a good amount of money with people coming in, and you can have a PFL platform. Remember how like Legacy used to be a feeder into the UFC? Like you can have all these different platforms. I mean, worldwide, the number of people that want to be fighters, you can generate really good money and never make it to the UFC.
Yeah, and we talked about this before. Worldwide. Not just, North America, like that, or just United States itself. We've already talked about that. It's a big enough stage and it's still growing so big that, that's why one can be so successful and then UFC's being successful. And then you see, now you have a third party coming in now with the PFL like that. As before, there was a way more, as for, Pride and Strikeforce, Bellator, WEC and stuff like that.
Right.
And who owns all that now? So, we're going to get that in a bit. Yeah. We're going to get into that a little bit like that. But yeah, but as for like NFL and NBA and, stuff like that, it's just not as a popular sport worldwide. So that's why, you see that they don't really have a lot of more rivals, XFL is coming back with Dwayne Johnson bringing it back and stuff and his whole group, but like, I think that they're on their third try. It's just a little, it's like a little bit more extreme arena football, like that. But, but until I think like the NFL and then, really gains a lot. Cause, even NBA, it is popular, but it's not worldwide popular.
It's not a worldwide popularity.
Like until those sports really get super popular where, you're talking about, hundreds of millions of freaking people are playing around the world, like that, then
they're just not going to be the team sport. Yeah.
Speaking about NBA, fucking Team UFC just got knocked out.
I was just going to say, I was just about to ask you about that.
Trash, bro. Like, I'm not a big basketball guy. I really am not a big basketball guy, but, I'm just huge in sports in general like that. And like you just would think that, being Team USA, and where we're the motherland, we're the motherland of basketball and stuff like that. And then having the prestige of the dream team, and then going to the drought, then you have the redeem team, like that, and doing undefeated freaking
the dream team in the Olympics,
like it just. Come on,
nasty,
man!
Bro.
Like,
so
like,
nasty,
and like
bro.
it's just to a point, and maybe we are spoiled. You know what I mean? Because, we're just so dominant in all those years and those eras. For those like that, and then like, of course, we just expect that. All right, freaking the bench guys coming off, from these NBA teams. Of course they're gonna just dominate and freaking do an undefeated run in the world. And I was like. Germany.
You remember when they went? They went.
They lost to. Sorry to cut you out. They lost to the first because the first round they took their loss was.
Who did they lose to? I was just looking at the other day.
It was because I was watching the game. I can't even.
Oh my God!
It was.
You watched the game?
I want to say. I was watching the game because I didn't have. I was just. It was just sports on. I had ESPN on, and it was the only thing on. But it was
So they lost it. So first they lost to Germany.
It started with an L, like Latvia or something like that. I want to say it was something like that.
Oh, that may be it.
Yeah, I was like,
because that seems.
I was like, are you serious? It's like, yeah. So and then I always every time anything comes hit up, I always hit up my boy Josh. He's a ex coworker of mine that I work with, but he was huge on basketball. So I always send him basketball shit all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he agreed instantly, like, bro, trash. I was like, and then as soon as they lost, freaking all the memes started coming out, and they're like, come next year.
Was it Lithuania?
Lithuania, yeah, Lithuania. I knew it started with a freaking L. It was like Booker and then freaking Paul and James and freaking Durant and Curry and like next year's team. I was like, why didn't they? Why did they freaking start this team?
But you remember what happened?
Huh?
You remember? Remember first it was the Dream Team, and the Dream Team was like the NBA All Stars.
Yeah, well that was the first year. It was the first year for the Olympics that NBA players can play in the Olympics. Before that, only college players.
Right. And then they went. So then they had the
just,
pros.
It was just unfair. Bro.
It was stupid. When Vince Carter dunked over the dude,
I'm talking about balls on chin.
I feel like I've seen that as a meme or like a reel or something.
Over him. He jumped over him like this. And it was so stupid.
It was just not fair.
It was unfair.
Knowing that that's what we grew up on is like that's what you expect.
But then time. But then they went back to collegiate players. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know. I don't know who's on the team now, but it's not that upper echelon that it
right
was,
now.
Bro.
It's more like now you're starting to see more rising stars in the NBA. So you know what I mean, guys that are making a name for themselves like that, and they're probably like one guy that is becoming a veteran, like probably like his sophomore, junior year in the NBA, like that you know.
And we need to be careful because you still need to be careful because you still got those Eastern Europeans. Like
bro,
we got like Vlade Divac and
shoot. Look at the most dominating guy with the highest paying freaking guy in the NBA right now is Luka.
Right.
All right. Yeah, like guys like that, bro. They step back threes all day.
What was the dude's name from Dallas? Did retire? Nowitzki? Dirk
Nowitzki. Yeah.
Those guys are over there.
Yeah. No.
Playing in these guys, and it's like okay.
Yeah. You know who was my favorite from the Spurs? Italian guy.
You talking about not Tony Parker?
No, not Tony Parker too, man.
You're talking about Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, Manu Ginobili. He was a hustler, bro.
He was all over the place,
hey,
bro.
He
was all over the place.
People were like, he ain't nobody, you know what I mean? He came into the league, bro, just hustling on both sides of the freaking court. But
everywhere.
Man, he can freaking
everywhere.
He had ball handles and he could step back mid and freaking long range shots. He was. People were just sleeping on these European guys, man, like that. Even with to have both those guys, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, and then and honestly, all right, controversial statement. Right here, I'm about to say it, all right, because I'm tired of people sleeping, all right, on the GOATs. They always talk about the GOAT, all right?
Okay.
Number one all time is going to be Mike because he did it first, right? He did it first, all right?
100%.
Like that. Mm-hmm. But everybody always thinks it's James. I don't think it's James.
LeBron?
Yeah, I don't think it's LeBron.
I don't think it's LeBron.
All right?
I don't think it's LeBron.
All right? Center for the Spurs. Who am I talking about?
Tim Duncan.
Yes! Timmy.
Tim Duncan.
All right?
Super fundamental. Came out of Wake Forest, Purdue. Wake Forest, Purdue.
So I know we're a little out of the zone right now. All right, Lynn, you're a little left. You got a cold mic right now. All right, let's think about it. All right, and you can go ahead so you can get on the conversation. Go ahead and look up how many freaking rings LeBron James has. All right, and if I'm not mistaken, it's only 5 rings. All right?
Is it 5?
I want to say it's 5. All right, because it was 2. It was 2 with
he has 4.
4 rings. Yeah,
I was gonna say
2 with the Heat, 1 with the Cleveland,
and
one
with
the Lakers.
Okay.
All right, now look at Tim Duncan's 6 rings. 6 rings.
Timmy was savage.
All defense, all pro.
Timmy was
he
savage.
Has 5.
He has 5. Oh, I thought he had 6. Oh, you know what? Isn't it? Doesn't Kobe Bryant has 6? Doesn't Kobe Bryant have 6? Or maybe he has 5 too.
No, Kobe's got.
How many does Kobe have?
Also 5.
5? All right.
Yep.
No.
Anyways.
I think the person that has the most rings in the NBA
Robert Horry.
is Robert Horry.
I think
Robert Horry.
Robert Horry.
I think it's Robert Horry.
Yeah,
Robert
he's
Horry was
best 6-man ever. All right. Best 6-man hands down.
I will never
he has
forget.
7.
I think I remember when Robert Horry was playing for
Technically, I want to say is Wilt Chamberlain. Technically, I think that dude got like 12 rings.
Oh, well.
but that's like, I think that's when he was playing in the ABA or like the all black league.
Okay, so I'm gonna date myself. In '94, when the Rockets won their first championship,
yeah,
right, I was graduating high school.
Yeah,
shut up, bro. I remember. I'll never forget this play.
How old I was?
Right, like 4. I get it. Like I wasn't even walking yet.
This is before my time.
I'll never forget. Robert Horry went down.
Yeah.
Talk about playing on both sides of the ball. He goes down one end of the court, makes a stupid block, like lands on his back. He's at the other end of the court dunking it. Like on the very next play.
He's a hustler, bro.
Robert was a truth.
You talking about a freaking 6-man, that could freaking do everything, man. Like, yes, Robert Horry.
Robert was great.
As for rings wise, I think he has the most. I think he does. Yeah, I mean,
he does.
Yeah.
I'm
You know what I mean? I think as player coach, I want to say either it's Pat Riley or Golden State's coach Steve Kerr that has the most.
Yeah, because Steve Kerr got all those rings with the
he
Bulls.
He has 5 with the Bulls because he missed 1 year before, and then I think he has 4 with 3 or 4 with Golden State. So
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr,
Rodman,
Dennis Rodman,
Bill
Cartwright.
Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright was a center. Horace Grant was on the squad too, though.
Yeah.
With his glasses.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are the. Hey, people
Bulls,
sleep
bro.
on Timmy, bro. All right. So conversation. Hey, on me. All right. Like, freaky, you're talking about GOAT wise. I don't know. I just don't get it why people overlook Timmy. You know what I mean? Like that. I always say I'm like Mike, and I'm like, okay, fuck LeBron James. Like, you know, LeBron James is great, you know, on both sides of the ball. But like, why are people sleeping on Timmy?
Or Elijah?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Who?
But Elijah won.
Hey man, he individually he was a great player. Just, you know, team wise and like, only 2 championships.
Duncan. Very easy to sleep on though, because he's very quiet.
Yeah, wait, hey, I don't care, man.
He just did his job.
He's doing work.
He just did his job, bro.
He didn't talk shit.
He just did his job.
Like
he just did his job.
Right,
super fundamental. Did he come out of Purdue or Wake Forest? I can't remember. Tim. It was Purdue or Wake Forest.
Bro, I thought he. Oh no. I'm taking a Carlos Boozer. I thought he was a Duke boy.
No.
Nah, yeah.
I remember he was Midwest.
That's out of my realm again. You know, like. I don't watch that much basketball, but for sure. All right, man. Let's get back to some UFC talk for sure. All right, Dana White. What are your thoughts?
Let me just say, everybody on Reddit. There's a Reddit thread right now.
Yeah.
Talking about this class action suit, and everybody's coming for Dana. Okay, everybody.
All right. So, all right. Tell me your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts about Dana White. What are your thoughts about Dana White?
Dana White is a shrewd businessman.
Agreed.
Man, I think he really does have, you know, because one of his buddies, man, is freaking Trump. So I think, you know, he probably adopts a lot of those mentalities. And
I think he's a shrewd businessman, bro.
Business is business. You know what I mean? What about yourself?
No, he just strikes me as a businessman.
Yeah.
No emotion.
You know, honestly, I think as a person, you know what I mean? I don't even know, freaking never even met the guy, and, you know, never even been in the same room and shake his hand or get an autograph or anything like that. You know what I mean? But from what I see, you know, when he is doing, stuff outside of UFC, when I see him doing stuff outside of, you know, UFC and stuff like that, you know, I feel honest to God, like, you know, freaking he has great intentions, you know, for his business and, you know, like that to just constantly be a pioneer and get it ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, and like he seems like he's a, you know, I don't want to say fair, you know what I mean? I don't want to say fair because because
he does not strike me as fair at all.
Yeah, because I
there's nothing about him that seems fair.
I want to say like, what would you say the word would be if, like, you know, he just structures everything in a way where he knows he's gonna come out on top. You know, not in necessarily like he wants to fuck you.
Shrewd.
Just shrewd. All right,
shrewd.
So that's all right.
Because what he does is the way. So Dana White. So y'all remember Tiny Tim and the Christmas Story?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you remember the dad wanted to get off work? And no, you can't work and all this shit. And it's like, look, I need to make $1. Like, I'm not concerned about you. I need to make $1. I've got shareholders to answer to. I've got this. Like, I need to make $1. That's Dana White. Yeah. Dana White does not care about you. He needs to make $1. I bet if the Nevada Boxing Commission would allow somebody to get knocked out, get a concussion, and fight the next week on the card, Dana would say, if you're ready, let's go. I bet he would.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, he does his job to the T.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure, you know, like that. All right, and saying that, all right, because he's looking out for the best interest of exactly what you're just talking about. The shareholders, the investment, again, what I'm telling you about just being a pioneer, really moving the needle, in all aspects of what he does for his job and things like that. People, the small guy, underneath him is just getting swept, freaking up. You know what I mean? And it is sad. But in hindsight, the big picture is like, I was like, man, the dude has a job to do and he's fucking doing it well. And you know what? I'm like, either you play ball or you go fucking find another court. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
It's it is the epitome of overweening bargaining power and unconscionability.
Mm-hmm. And with that, a lot of it is just negligence. You know what I mean, on the small man scale, because like I'm like it's it's like, how can I say, it's like a middle schooler or like a kid, freaking, trying to go against a professor, as for like knowledge wise and experience, and like.
So watch what it is. It's the same thing that owners have been doing to players in every sport since the beginning of time. So if you watch Colin Kaepernick's show that he had on Netflix or something, he likened the NFL Combine to the slave trade, right? Because they put you out there to test your physical prowess to see how much you're worth as a physical person, the same way they did when they traded the slave trade. Well, you take all these people, and it's always the same thing. You take somebody who's, like we were talking about last time, didn't come from much, poor, has a dream, whatever, and then you say, oh, well, look at this shiny nugget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look at this shiny nugget. And then I'll give you this shiny nugget. And yes, you make $84 million a year. But somebody pays that, bro.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's easy because a lot of these fighters have that work hard mentality where it's like, I'll just work hard and I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll make it. But they play on that.
You're coming from. It doesn't even matter if you're a fighter. Yeah. One day you're working at Starbucks, making whatever, getting health insurance, whatever. You make $50K a year, right?
Yeah.
And then, like the PFL, somebody comes over and says, we got a new coffee company, and you can come over here and make $100K a year.
Yeah,
I'm going over there, and you don't think about what you all those contracts that they sign.
NDA, you sign a non-compete. You sign.
Nobody thinks about all that.
All the fine print.
Nobody reads that because you're looking at what you look at, which is I need to take care of my family, and I've been working in this factory for all this time, and now I don't have to work in the factory anymore, and I can still take care of my family. And they skip that.
I sent y'all that one reel of Cousins.
Yeah,
the NBA player that he was talking about in college when he was playing. He played for Kentucky, you know what I mean, like that. And and this is still a time where freaking any college athlete, couldn't
make their money,
couldn't make any money or even take a free meal. That's what he was talking about, like that. And they're doing freaking trips, tournament trips all to Mexico and playing like that. And they're talking about he made a huge statement just saying fuck the NCAA. You know what I mean? Like that. I love, my college that I went to, but the NCAA, they can fucking eat, a bag of dicks. You know what I mean? Like that, because, as I'm over here getting in trouble because just for a free meal like that, or maybe I take a buck or two like that, and quite possibly have my freaking, my scholarship taken away and all, whatever it is. Be banned like that, but yet the NCAA guy freaking is out, with their certain merchandise, freaking $60,000 worth of merchandise with my name on it and stuff like that.
Making a killing. I don't even get. I mean, they don't even get a royalty.
Yeah,
and it's like the college owns
now he's asking for reparations.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And
I don't see why I shouldn't.
I don't ever see that happening. Not one bit. Like I agree that it should happen, but I don't see it.
The whole thing is going to hinge on what you actually sign. See, the scholarship is an agreement to have your school paid for. So what is it actually an agreement to do? Because you're an amateur. You're not a professional. So you still have the ability to make money. Your likeness is still your likeness. So you do have to give up permission to do some things and to use your likeness, like permission to use their likeness. But if you know at the time, this is just, if I was arguing, this is what I would say. If you knew at the time that I said, Eric Valdez, sign this over, I'm going to use your likeness. But if I knew that at the time that I did that, I was going to use your likeness to make money, and specifically did not tell you, like just not going to do it at all, then I think there's an issue with that, because what I'm doing is you're now like there's an uneven bargaining power. Yeah. Because you, like, what do? It's like either, or then don't go to school. You know what I'm saying? So there's an uneven bargaining power, and there's like a
isn't it something about like just hiding?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the word, but
so all right. So how you think about like that? Let's all right, because we're getting a little too far away from what we want to really talk about like that. Yeah. So think about what you're talking about right there like that. So all right, and the reason I bring up Dana White off the bat, because God, two things, man. They're like UFC right now. What I'm hearing and over like that. The first thing is this huge class action lawsuit. That's going to be it. Obviously, if won, that's heavily weighed, like that is going to be paying out anywhere up to $1.6 to $4.8 billion. What is UFC right now worth? You can look that up for me.
That I could see that.
Like
that makes sense.
And in this lawsuit right now with a class action, like that, is going to be over 1,200 fighters that can claim to this lawsuit. It was filed over 10 years ago.
The whole industry is worth $12.1 billion.
12.1, about a third of what they're worth, like that.
Yeah, I could see that.
You think that's crippling?
Nah.
A third, like that? I think, man, they're gonna get a little tighter on the pay even more for the fighters if that happens.
Because they're fighting at the UFC complex. Yeah, they're not fighting at They're not fighting in hotels anymore as much. Yeah. They've got their own complexes that they're fighting. They own so much of the things that they own so much of stuff that they're fighting in. That's a good point. That it's like, okay.
So, being the expert on this like that, explain to the viewer right now that's watching like that, exactly how a class action lawsuit, works out and benefits everybody.
So, what a class action lawsuit is, so generally when you have a lawsuit, you have A versus B, right? Two different people. But
so me and Lynn versus you, like
right. So that's a standard lawsuit. But what happens when you have a class action lawsuit is you have a group of people with a similar, who have been aggrieved a similar way. So what I mean by when I say aggrieved a similar way is like they all suffered the same type of harm from this individual or group of individuals.
And is it one? Is it usually just one like lawyer that blankets all of them, or do they all have their own individual?
It just depends. It just depends because you have different types.
Obviously,
of class.
You want to be the lawyer that covers all of them.
Well, so generally what you do is that it's generally that you have multiple lawyers, because you can have a class action lawsuit with 20 people and have one lawyer cover 20 people. Yeah. Or you can have class action lawsuits with these like pharmaceutical companies and they end up in multi-district litigation where you have,
one in Texas, one in California, one in New York.
One in the Southwest, one in the Northwest, because that's why they call it multi-district, because it's like there's so many people involved in this. But generally it's different people. But what they do is they certify, so you go to court and you end up certifying a class. And when you certify a class, that's basically a court determining that all of these people are similarly situated against this one particular person. The benefit of certifying a class or having a class action lawsuit is it benefits both parties. One, it helps the cases settle faster, but it also helps the defendant also. Because what will end up happening in a lot of these class action lawsuits is they will say, okay, look, we're guilty. Here's a pot of money. Yeah. Now everybody can just take out of this pot of money. Yeah. And you don't have to come after my pockets individually. Whereas if I'm 1,200 people, if each one of those 1,200 people, let's say, is owed, you look at the amount of money that they could have lost, and it could have been, $2 million a piece. Yeah. Well, now it's $2 million times 1,200. And now you're like, oh shit, how much money did I really lose here? But instead you certify a class, the class settles and they say, here's what's going to happen. We're going to put $100 million over here. And now the defendant's not really worried about it. Now all of y'all are crabs in a barrel fighting over the $100 million.
Yeah.
And so, it kind of helps both people out. But it really does put you in a, and it helps. The reason they do it is to unclog the courts.
Yeah.
Because you don't have 1,200 cases filed in court anymore. You have
Facebook
one.
just went through a class action lawsuit and stuff like that. And like anybody could have freaking latched onto that if they just signed the thing.
Bro,
and
they come in your mail all the time.
And I think freaking I think whoever did go onto the class action lawsuit and because it won and stuff like that, they only paid out like $60 or something like that.
No, bro, you get them all. If you really check your mail, they'll be like, there's a class action lawsuit against Sprint, against T-Mobile, against AT&T, and then if you get if you get in and sign the thing, like you'll get a check for like $1.36.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, well, look, I won this money, which you really did.
So let's discuss what the class action is about. And so when we say UFC, all right, so the viewer out there that doesn't know like that, we're not talking about Ultimate Fighting Championship. All right, we're talking about Zuffa. Zuffa owns UFC. All right, like that. So if you didn't know, yeah, all right, like that. And so there's 3 different things that they're suing them for. All right, so use of long-term exclusive contracts with fighters. All right, to limit their mobility. All right, and to limit their mobility and prevent them or delaying free agency. All right?
Okay,
like that. So obviously they can't be a free agent and go play other grounds at PFL or ONE or any other freaking
Bellator,
like that at the time and stuff like that. No, you're exclusively just to us like that. And so the second one is that the market dominance to coerce fighters to re-sign contracts. All right, making the contract effectively. God, I can't even read my own handwriting. Perpetual. All right. And what does that mean? All right, like that they're forcing these guys, like that. Either, you're going to stay with us.
Where else you going to go?
All right, where else are you going to go? Yeah, exactly. Like that. And then that goes with the next one, meaning that they acquired and closed down for multiple MMA promoters or promotions, or like that, buying out Pride, buying out Strikeforce, Bellator, WEC, like that, effectively or essentially almost making a freaking a monopoly.
Almost making a monopoly.
Yeah, like that. If it wasn't for them just, and I think if they had the choice, like that, they would probably, offer and buy out, PFL and freaking ONE, being the only one. But obviously, that's not gonna go.
I think they probably would too.
Yeah, what I mean. And so those are the 3 major counts right there of the lawsuit for the class action. Like that. So out of all of these, which one do you think is like the most egregious one that for sure they have the best?
I definitely think it's the perpetual contract,
forcing them to stay there.
I definitely think it's a perpetual contract
and stuff like that.
I definitely think it's that because, I mean, again, that goes to overweening bargaining power.
Mm-hmm.
I take away all your other avenues. And now you're stuck here.
Yeah.
And then what ends up happening there, and I'm sure that a lot of those 1,200 will be able to say this, you lock me into a contract, then you tell me, then you don't find me any fights. Mm-hmm. So I'm not getting paid. I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Do you see a strike in the future? Something like that? Like, because normally that's what really happens, all the time, when, in the NFL, NBA, and like that.
Detroit.
Like that. Know. If you don't pay us or like that, and they don't have a
labor
union, huh? No, they don't have. Well,
nope.
That's what the freaking Francis Ngannou was fighting for, and that's why ultimately got him kicked out.
This is why I don't think. Yeah, I mean unions do. Yeah. They do, and players associations, what they call like NFLPA, NBAPA. They have the players association, and that's cool. But the reason I don't see a strike happening is because you will have enough people that want to eat now. Mm-hmm. And so like in the old school when they had strikes at like the factories and stuff, they had those people called not carpetbaggers. Those were
the replacements.
They were the replacements. They were the people that crossed the line.
Uh-huh.
And the people that crossed the line because they were like, hey, you know what? They don't have any supervisors and they're willing to pay me an extra $1 more that they wouldn't have paid me before. So I'll go in and work.
Yeah.
And you have enough people there's enough hungry people out there
I'm gonna come out of retirement.
that want to fight. They will say, "Oh, y'all striking? Y'all need fighters? I'll go."
Since
And they'll
MMA
get
is
paid
the
half-
easiest to win a championship.
And they'll get paid half the money.
Watch out for you. All right?
They'll get paid half the money to go across.
Put my hat back in the ring.
And then you have people that just don't give a fuck. Like you just have people that are just selfish. That they're just selfish. Like I'm still getting paid. Why do I care? If you get good and you'll get paid.
Yeah.
Get good and you'll get a fight. You're not on the fight because you're not good.
Yeah. I get it.
So
that's tough. That's tough. All right, like that. And so then the second thing right now that's coming out, this one right here, this one eats at me, right here. You know what I mean? All right. Freaking Dana White is now implementing, all right, or this is what it hearsay right now, a contract clause, all right, allowing UFC, all right, to have a cut of any business a fighter starts. All right, how do you feel about that?
What? Why?
So all right, so okay, so and then
like nothing to do with UFC, nothing to do with
yeah.
fighting,
So like
nothing.
you're talking about like someone like Dustin Poirier. What is outside of UFC? What does Dustin Poirier have? He has his hot sauce. Have you seen that?
Oh
He has his hot sauce.
yeah.
All right, Conor McGregor outside of UFC. What does Conor McGregor have? All right, his whiskey.
a fucking good time.
Are you even
A fucking good time.
phony?
A fucking good time. Oh, God.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Things like that
Yeah.
outside of the UFC. These guys are freaking like that. Again, they're using their likeness, what they build on their career, like that. With the UFC, and then outside of that, they're making these things. So and so he is on record, and this is a statement that Dana White made, is that UFC is not a career, it's an opportunity. All right, and what do you think that means?
It's a springboard.
It's a springboard. You're using my platform to create your own platform, and hence all our fans and our followers are going on to your being your fans and your followers, so that's why you're getting business. All right, this right here touches freaking a soft spot right now for me, because freaking this happened to me in my young career as a personal trainer, because the very first freaking gym that I worked with, all right, it was a brother-owned company like that. All right, and fuck them. All right, because they try to put this shit on me right here. Oh, well, it's my gym and people are coming in because it's our gym like that. Even though it's your, even though you're training them and things like that, we're gonna make money off you because without this gym, you wouldn't even freaking be able to be a trainer and like that. I'm like, what the. What? I was like, bro, you're not doing nothing, all right, and I'm paying you rent to, like that, it's. I was like, come on now.
I'm just borrowing your equipment for a second.
Like that's exactly. I'm just subleasing your equipment. Yeah. All right, you're doing nothing else. All right, how the fuck are you gonna make more money off of what I'm doing just because you're renting out this location?
Right.
But I'm subleasing a sublease.
Right.
Like,
all right, but these guys are risking a lot more for UFC
to that contract clause. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, what the fighters always have, on their banners, on their shorts, and stuff like that when they're working out. What was it?
Crawfish business, shoe business, doctor's office, whoever would sponsor him, whoever would give him money on the way to the fight, whatever. Venom with different fight shorts,
like that. All the sponsors, what I mean? So freaking, you go back to what freaking Dana White said, is that MMA is not a career, it's an opportunity. All right, so these guys start seeing opportunity. I have a platform. You know what I mean, I got freaking Jules Johnson's law firm sponsoring me freaking $10,000 per fight. I got freaking Linton's freaking Home and Garden freaking sponsoring me at $5,000 a fight and stuff, and I got to put it on my shorts, like that, temporary tattoo it on my back, whatever it is, you know what I mean?
I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So
and then with this Reebok and now with the Venom deals, freaking Dana White took that away from them. They can't freaking do that, so now they got to do these, $100 commercials, freaking, in freaky, Fort Worth, Texas, for, some car salesman like that to make a buck now, or do all these signing autographs, go out to, little road droves and freaking 5 hours worth of signing autographs just to show them my, my face and things like that. And you're telling me now you're gonna take my money from doing all those things? Is like
the way that people were able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You're a show pony. The way that
go
people
back to NCAA
because that's what made it easy. If you think about it, it technically made it easier on on Zuffa because they had other money coming in, so I don't need as much money per fight anymore because I've got another revenue stream. But then when they go and when you start to, I remember clear as day when they went and they signed that Reebok deal and those ugly fucking suits that came out. They were
horrible,
fucking terrible.
Misspelled names, everything.
They were terrible, bro. And it was like, what is this? Like, why would you do this? But what happened was they saw an opportunity and they were like, oh, wait a minute, we can make some money on this. Let's get our money here. Mighty Mouse had Xbox, exclusively Xbox. Yeah. I mean, Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft.
He had no other.
John Jones with Nike. You know what I mean? Anderson Silva with, you know, Burger King and stuff like that. Only like certain superstars can really have their own sponsorships on the shorts and stuff like that.
But that was the thing that made them that money, that $10,000 from that law firm, that $4,000 from the restaurant was what made you able to not work and be able to fight the whole time to get ready for the fight. Then they take that away from you, and now all that money, Reebok isn't paying you any money to wear those shorts. Yeah. They're paying all that money.
It's like tens, on the dollar of per pay-per-view. If you're even on the pay-per-view card, because you understand that you don't even get no pay-per-view money unless you're on the main card. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man. You know, like that, and so then again, with this, all right, I feel like there's going to be a huge change in the wins, in the sales and stuff like that. As if with this first class action lawsuit, how typically how long does something like this, or because it's already been 10 years,
bro, years.
They just purposely do that until they just drain everybody's money.
Well, no, because the lawyers on the side know that there's money out there for this, but you've got, if you got 1,200 people, you basically have to pour through 1,200 different cases of discovery, because even though I aggrieved you the same way that I aggrieved Lynn, right? Like I fucked y'all over the same way. Yeah. It was still different. There's still a contract that I had with you, still a contract that I had with Lynn. So you got to review all your documents. I got to review all Lynn's documents. Now it's 1,200. I got to review all Earl's documents and Keisha's documents. Yeah. And now you just have to do that, and it takes a long time. I mean, the average life of a lawsuit, bro, 3-4 years is nothing. And that's A versus B.
But right now it's 10 years going on.
Right. So when you have 1,200 people, 10 years, okay.
Well, if you had to really guess or think, how long, when would something like this will probably finally be? Because I don't see it going all the way through. I see a settlement. There's more likely all these are settlements, right?
Yeah, it'll end up settling for a pool of money. But I mean, I say probably another
10 years.
I'd probably say another 5-10 years. Easy. Because what happens? So the way that time helps the defense is because the fighters from 2016 are probably not fighting anymore,
and they're getting poor, and then I mean, and freaking.
And so now it's like how much? Oh, I do that. Okay, that's gonna be $250,000 a person. Man, I'm still in my prime. Now I'm not in my prime anymore. Oh, it's gonna be $100,000 a person.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but now it's a little longer. $50,000 a person. I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden,
and that's why I say that's why they drag it out so long, because then they're just waiting for people pockets to drain more and stuff like that. Okay, so let me ask you this question, all right? Because I see a big change happening. Let's say this thing ends tomorrow, all right?
Okay.
Like that. Everybody gets paid out, whatever it is. I don't, you can put the number on it. Let's just say the bare minimum, they settled at 1.6 billion, all right, like that, and everybody gets paid freaking, probably like $200,000, some shit like that, after all 1,200, get their money, whatever, like that. All right. So effectively taking away that they can freaking, go and freaking their contracts, be a free agent. How many do you see jumping ship and finding a better deal at PFL or ONE or something like that?
I think that the UFC will have to undergo a major restructuring with the way that they handle their athletes if they are not successful in the class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is because that's now going to shape all your new negotiations.
No, of course.
Because what happens is if they determine that these old contracts are they're illegal, right? Like you can't use those. So then your current contracts that are the same are now no longer valid.
Look up right now how many contract fighters are in the UFC. What would you have to guess it?
Oh, man, I'd probably say 500 to 1,000.
500,000 fighters.
Oh yeah.
How many fighters are
across the weight classes?
Yeah.
As of 2023, there are 578 fighters contracted under UFC.
God, you imagine just all of them, boom, overnight, free freaking
at 100%
agencies like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. And okay, now let's look up PFL and then look up one, see how many contracts they own.
I'm bouncing.
Yes.
Because once you realize that they were, because there's some people. So when you first start, you get your first contract. You're just happy to have that contract. It just happened to rappers all the time. They would get their first contract with Sony, but then they started realizing that they were getting fucked over. So now they started doing independent labels.
Yeah.
You know, Drake
they own all their music rights, everything like that. They don't have to.
So one championship has 600 fighters, and PFL has 72 in 6 weight classes. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a huge, there's gonna be a massive shift.
So okay, as a free agent, it's always a head scratcher to me. When you see someone like LeBron James taking 1-year deals like that.
Right.
What is the benefit of that? What do you see like is the benefit of that?
Freedom.
Because the next year like that, and then like I think it's a double-edged sword, with that, because 1 year, like, okay, let's say, you take a 1-year contract, boom, you freaking have career highs and, freaking that 1 year, and it really boosts your stock, you know what I mean? As for, okay, I was worth 30 mil this year, I got career highs now, freaking, I can ask 45, 50 mil, pay me,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I feel like, there's a big benefit, but then you're on 1-year deal, shit goes south. You break your fucking, or tear something, break, you blow your knee out, or, like that. You probably fuck your elbow over like that. You know what I mean? You probably had dismal numbers, and it's on 1-year deal. So that fucking organization, like, fuck yeah. I don't have to pay him again another year like that. I don't. And then you try to come back on maybe you have to take a whole year off, you know what I mean? And you try to come back, and now you went from 30, now you're like half that, 15, maybe 12, million, like that.
It's that freedom though, because what do we see all the time? We see athletes, football players, basketball players hoping to get traded. I want to get traded. They want out of their contract. They want out of their contract because of some beef with the home office, the back office, whatever it is, and you get that freedom, and it's like, like sometimes it's worth it, bro.
For just a short-term contract.
Sometimes it's worth it.
What do you see the benefits with the long-term contracts?
Oh, it's guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed money.
The benefit of a long-term contract is depending on the way it's written. Because they have those long-term contracts where it's an $84 million contract, right? But you're only guaranteed $1 million a year. Yeah. You have to hit these certain benchmarks in order to get.
There's incentives. There's always incentives and stuff.
Right.
Look at
they're all
Joe
incentivized.
Royals yesterday. Freaking
Right.
super rich contract, all right? $225 million for 5 years, guaranteed $219 million, all right? And then freaking for him, obviously he has to play, he has to hit certain amount of touchdowns, not freaking certain, not throw enough interceptions, whatever it is, like all that shit to really pay in full the whole 225,
right?
Like that, do you see contracts like that happening in MMA? Not just UFC, but just in MMA.
I think what you're going to start seeing is boxing contracts.
What do you mean?
Remember how boxing had the some people were signed with the promoters, but most boxers just had like that, like they had a deal today, like they had a 1-fight deal. Like this will be your fight, you'll be on this promotion, this card, and that's it. There were very few like. Don King had Mike Tyson as a stable fighter. Oscar De La Hoya had a couple of stable fighters. But for the most part, everybody was like, you want this fight? You can have this fight with this contract, and that's what you got. And I think that you'll end up I think the MMA will either end up with stables, where you have, instead of it being Black Zillions, it'll be the Black Zillion stable. All these people are under this promotion.
Promoters having their own fighters.
They're having their own fighters, and then that's where it's coming from. But I can easily see like some guys like a lot of these guys, like a lot of 560 fighters. Name 20.
20 of them? Well, yeah, freaking like majority of them. I'm gonna probably within each weight class, I could probably name you top 3. Who's in the top 3 in freaking each weight class. Yeah. That's about it.
So I don't need to contract. I don't need to contract with the guy that's number 20. You get a 1-fight deal.
Yeah.
Here you go. You come out. You make your money. You win. Maybe you get another one. You lose.
Yeah.
So long.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that's going to help feed the PFL, and that's what helped feed Bellator for so long, is that all the people that kind of washed out of the UFC, they had a place to go with that thing. But
do you remember? And I think I did send it to y'all. That one thing I was showing you about Logan Paul and what he was big issue with Dana White is, and the payouts and stuff like that, and talking about like the bare minimum should be $50,000. You remember? Can you recall exactly what he was talking about? Man, I really want to. I wish I could remember that, and I put that on. I wish I would have put those on the notes and stuff like that. Because that's his big whole thing right there, is that Zuffa as a whole is making all this money and stuff like that, and they at minimum they can afford to pay out even the bottom, so to speak, bottom feeders, freaking that much money to make a living, and and cover their training for the year, and the coaches and their recovery and stuff like that to stay healthy, like that. But obviously Dana White is just being tight with everything, and if you're not a name, then hey, guess what? You're not gonna get paid like that. So but it's tough.
It's really, really hard when you so let's go back to Sweat Equity 1 when we were talking about having that dream, and you were talking
it's
about
not just work hard no more.
You were talking about not only having that dream, but like you had to be willing to see it through to fruition. Business owners, fighters, everybody. There's always people out there preying on the fact that you have this dream.
Yeah.
And so, you want to start a business, Lynn? What do? You grow plants? Here, I'm gonna give you a loan, but you're gonna get a 19% APR on this loan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you don't think about what 19% means.
Yeah.
Until it's time to start paying the low back, and they're preying on your dream, and that's what that's what I mean. That's what these people doing. That's what people do, and that's what they do in the fight business. So that's just what they do.
Yep.
All right, guys. Let us know what your thoughts are. Like that, how you think these class action lawsuit is gonna play out. Whether it's good or bad. For the organization. UFC itself, or even MMA itself, what it's going to do for the landscape of MMA across the board. It's always good to see the small man thrive, like that. But going against the big machine, it's always a slippery slope and a big hill to climb, for sure. Let us know what you think on how UFC 293 is going to play out. I already put my chips on the table, and I'm, I say first round knockout by kick, Adesanya, like that. So that's my my call out for sure. I like that. Any closing thoughts?
Bro, I did have a question. I can't.
Did we have questions? We have any questions today? No.
No. I had a question. I just had like a general question.
Yeah.
Because while we were talking about MMA, and I can't find the name of this promotion, but we were talking about people talking shit at the press conferences. Yeah. Have you seen these motherfuckers in Europe, bro, that have full on fights at the press conferences, bro?
I thought.
What the fuck, bro?
At as soon as they lock eyes, they go for each other.
I'm like,
Dan run from freaking. It's probably like 10 cheers all in a big ass circle, and you see this dude fucking full on sprinting with a fucking flying knee,
and then just lays out.
Bro, I honestly thought that setup was the fight. They still have a fight
pressers,
after that?
Bro. That's the presser. I'm like, what?
Bro, Russia. That's Russia. I'm just guessing.
Yes.
It's Russia.
It's somewhere Eastern Europe.
Bro,
That
they
shit's
on a
bro.
different level, bro. They on a
That's
different
crazy.
level. You know what I mean?
You want to watch the fight? I just
You
wanna
know,
watch
they
the
take on it's on site to another level.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
They
Right.
true to that. You know, some people be like, it's on site. You know what I mean? Well, what's up? We're here. You know, they
Yeah.
face to face. Well, you touch me. You know, nah,
Right, they kiss each
no,
other.
these dudes is full. These dudes
Yeah.
is full sprinting out on site, flying knees.
Yep.
in like skinny jeans and like a button-up shirt, and they're like fighting in the park. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
they on a different level, bro.
They're crazy,
They-
bro.
they catch me outside. How about that? They about it.
Yeah.
There's another thing that I saw. I don't know if you did. There's another thing I saw though. I saw a Eastern European bare knuckle fighting.
Nah, bro. They
Bro.
in the woods.
No. These guys were beating. Like I don't even know what the ref was doing. Like this guy was
sleeping on the job.
Bro, they were just beating the shit out of each other, and I was like, "Y'all got to stop this! Like this guy's about to die." And they were, and I was like, "Oh man,
obviously not
this
safe
is
shit.
crazy, bro." It's like there's no way that this is safe or healthy.
No.
But you know, I watched
they
it.
on a different level. Man. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very.
all right, guys. Until next time. All right, like that. I'm Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez. All right, Sweat Equity, guys. You can find us on Instagram at SweatEquity_HTX, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, podcast, guys. Hit us up. And again, guys, all right, if you made it this far, there's no reason that you haven't hit that like button, guys. Share, leave the notifications on. All right, and until next time, guys, we'll see you. All right.